The following information is intended for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. The views expressed do not reflect those of this broadcaster. Should you choose to implement this information, please do so only with the assistance of a licensed medical professional. Neither the presenter nor this broadcaster assume any responsibility for any adverse effects or consequences that may result.
Did you know that when you put something on your skin, it gets a direct ride into your bloodstream, bypassing all of your body's filters? It really makes you think about what you want to put on your skin and maybe some things you don't want to put on your skin. So what should you be putting on your skin? We have a great option from Anne Marie Skincare. We're going to talk with Rachel Pachivas, and she's about to give you a health awakening. Welcome to the Health Awakening. I'm your host, Scott Laird. You know, when we talk about healthcare and skincare is healthcare. You know, did you know that? Whatever you put on your skin gets a free ride into your blood system. Think about that the next time you put on makeup or anything. Guys, even you too. Anything we put on our bodies, on our skin, will go directly into the bloodstream. Now that is a sobering thought. So we want to have as clean as products as possible, and we have a great product line in Anne Marie Skincare. And to tell us about that today is Rachel Pachivas. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, you are the Chief Operating Officer of Anne Marie Skincare. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so what got you into this? I mean, what got you so interested in this type of thing?
Yeah, so I kind of just stumbled upon it. I feel like I was doing a little journey and I met Kevin and Anne Marie. So I was probably 15 years ago now. I went traveling in Australia and started learning about organic agriculture and actually skincare and herbs and medicine and remedies in that realm. And when I got back to the States, I started working on a campaign for labeling GMOs. And I met Kevin and Anne Marie and we became friends. I would cat sit for them. I was actually using the eye cream at that time, serendipitously. And when I met them, I recognized them, we became friends. And then shortly after, probably within a year, they asked me to come work with them. And it's kind of just grown from there.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I'd met them a long time ago as well. I'd met them when I was working with the Hallelujah Diet, and they were crossing the country in their motorhome. They parked in the parking lot of the Hallelujah Diet overnight, and it was a crazy time. But that's when they were just getting started on this type of thing. And Anne Marie was really passionate about it because everywhere she looked was just toxins everywhere in the skincare that we put on our skin. So why Anne Marie, and it's called Anne Marie Skincare, why is it so different and why is it so important to get something that's very clean like this?
Yeah, and at the time, you know, you mentioned in 2009, there weren't that many clean products on the market. So it is pretty fascinating that they were able to create this. But yeah, they were getting questions all over the country asking them what skincare they would use or she would use. And she really couldn't recommend anything. So she kind of just went on this journey to find a formulator to create these products. And part of, I guess, the wow of these products is that, yes, they are clean. They're using the best sources possible for ingredients. And then we also take these products, we put them through an energetic botanical infusion process where we're using energies and crystals and we're infusing them with herbs up to 30 days to kind of get this really potent tea concoction as the base of the formulas. And then adding in additional ingredients and essential oils and no fillers, no synthetic chemicals, no harmful ingredients, made safe approved ingredients to create this final product that's active, effective, it smells incredible, gives you results, like just a great product overall. And then the packaging is kind of the finishing touch, you know, packaging it in Myron glass and using sustainable materials in that way. So it's kind of just from start to finish, a lot of intention going into these products and really making sure we're using the cleanest ingredients, the most effective ingredients, and stuff you can stand by and feel good about.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, the first time my wife opened one of these, it was her idea to get this. So we carry them at our website, lairdwellness.com, and there's the information on the screen there where you can see this. But we decided to carry it because we were so impressed. The first time she opened up a lid of one of these things, you know, sometimes these all-natural skincare products wherever you get them. They don't smell like anything. They aren't, it's kind of like, they don't really work, and they cause you to break out. And that's something I want to ask in a second here, but they actually smell great. And my wife swears by these things. She's using them now and just loves them. So, I mean, that's really different for a natural skincare line as well, that they actually work.
Yeah, no, it's true. And we've actually created a second line in our Anne Marie skincare line. So we have our signature collection. We created the Wild Alchemy collection to just like top up those active ingredients and those activated formulas. So including vitamin C and a retinol alternative, because we all know we want to avoid retinol. Different collagen prepeptides that are actually clean, so many ceramides, stem cells, ingredients that you see in common luxury skincare that you're pretty concerned about where they're derived from and what other ingredients are included. So we're including these really activated ingredients that are so pure and so incredible to give you these results that you desire.
See, and you just brought up something, a luxury skincare item. So you see these things in like Macy's and great big department stores and wherever else that are super pricey, and automatically your brain says, oh, that must be better. But is it better?
Garbage. No, it's not better at all. And I was subject to it. I used to use, I'm not going to say the name, but I used to use this eye cream, and it was gnarly, and it was probably $400. And I was like, yes, this is it. Everything else I used was pure and clean. And this was back when I was like 22, 23. And I was like, I have to switch my eye cream. And that's when I found Anne Marie skincare eye cream. But no, it's gross. And they're primarily fillers. There's toxic phthalates. There's chemicals that are hormone disruptors. There's parabens. There's so many ingredients that are in them that we don't often think about. And it can do so much damage. And we're seeing the damage that it's doing to society right now. And
yeah, exactly, right? And the great thing about Anne Marie stuff, my wife had this one bottle, it was 100 milliliters of, I forget what kind of thing it was, but anyway, she said that this will last her a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I said, this little bottle's gonna last you a lot. I mean, how does that happen? Is it super concentrated? I mean, why does it last so long?
It is, yeah, and it's very active. So like our facial oil, our anti-aging facial oil, for example, you're not going to get as potent, as active, as concentrated, as effective and anti-aging results driven with some moisturizer that has majority water, second, a little bit of wax, second, a lot of parabens, some other chemicals, and then maybe, the last few ingredients are something that can catch your eye, that are herbs or something that are greenwashing. You're not going to get that. Even a clean moisturizer, you want to make sure you're formulating it in a way where you can get a lot of active ingredients. And even then, an oil is going to be that much more potent compounded together. And so you can use just like a teeny tiny pump, and that'll last you, like you put it all over your face and that's it. And then that will last you months, as your wife says.
It's crazy. Okay, we're gonna come back and talk more about this, maybe a skincare routine we can get into. So guys and ladies, listen up. We're gonna talk about this in just a second, and we'll be back with more from The Health Awakening. Stay with us. And welcome back to The Health Awakening. Before the break, we were talking about clean ingredients, and the expensive stuff may not be worth it after all, with Rachel Pachivas from Anne Marie Skincare. Rachel, we were talking about all kinds of good skincare items, and well, first of all, it's like people might look at this and go, well, wait a minute, where do I start? And you guys have a skincare quiz that you can get to with the information on the bottom of the screen there. When people take this quiz, what will they learn?
Yeah, so it'll kind of just give you an overview of where you can start. It'll ask you questions about possibly your exercise, how much time you spend in the sun, maybe your diet. We change it up based on what we're finding is informative and necessary that our customers want to know. But it'll spit out some information based on all the questions that you answer, what could be best for your skin type. We have different products great for different skin types, whether it's oily, aging, dry, mature, sensitive, or normal combination. So that's kind of a good place to start.
Okay, very good. So once we have that, there's a few things my wife has told me at least that can create a good skincare routine. We had started carrying 7, 8 different of your products on our website at lairdwellness.com. So we have a whole collection of them, but she's more of an expert on this obviously than I am. So educate me here.
Yeah.
Apparently there's a few that you need as a standard routine just to start off with, and you can add things on. So where do we start?
Yeah, so I would say your best go-to routine for if you want to change out what you're using and you want to switch to Anne Marie Skincare is you want a cleanser, a toner, a hydrator, and an oil, your moisturizer. And so for cleanser, I would recommend our aloe herb facial cleanser. It's a cream cleanser. It's gentle, but it's still cleansing and cleansing away impurities. Second would be the neroli toning mist. It's an aloe base with neroli essential oils. It's very hydrating. It's great for prepping your skin, so you always want to make sure you're using a toning mist. And then is your hydrator, so the anti-aging serum. And this is a power-packed product full of hydrators and things that will just add that extra layer of hydration to your skin. And I want to emphasize to not skip this one because I feel like it's so important. We often don't think that we need a serum, but adding a serum before your oil is so essential. So you spritz, you put your serum, and then while your skin is still damp, you finish it with your anti-aging facial oil. And this one is, again, an herb infusion with a ton of different oils that are antioxidant rich, nutrient dense, packing that onto your skin. So it has jojoba infused with herbs. It has chia seed, broccoli seed, goji berry. It has so many different oils, rooty fruit, hemanu, that are adding so much nutrients onto your skin.
And there are reasons for putting all these things in there. It's not just so it looks cool on a package, right? I mean, each one of these things does something. So there's a lot of science that goes into this, isn't it? It's not just, well, I want it to smell cool and be all natural and, that kind of thing. There's actually reason behind this.
Yeah, a lot of these ingredients, I mean, the herbs that are chosen for each formula. So we have our formulas for more oily skin, formulas for normal combination, formulas for anti-aging and dry, mature skin, or for sensitive. And the herb infusions that are creating the base for each of those products, they're very unique and they're selected specifically for those skin types. So using herbs like thyme or rosemary for oily skin, or for normal, you want to find herbs that are balancing your skin's oil production, or for anti-aging, you want herbs that are more moisturizing and great for anti-aging, like helichrysum or rose, things like that. So they are very intentional, and even the oils chosen, so using a jojoba with sesame for the anti-aging as opposed to a grapeseed for the oily. So being very mindful with the formulation process to choose ingredients that are meant for that skin type.
So that's the basic routine. And then what can people add on? So like say you're like in your 50s and you're starting to see the wrinkles under your eyes and you don't like that and you want to change that a little bit. Do you have something for like that age group? Do you have things for different age groups? We
do. And I would say whatever age group you are, this next one that I'm about to say, I would just get it because it's so good. It's our concentrated boosting elixirs. And we launched this recently, a couple years ago. And what it is 3 bottles. They're 10 milliliter bottles, and they're kind of like your boosting elixirs, and they're to enhance your regimen. And so you can use them with whatever serum you're using, whatever oil you're using. We have in there's a hydrate, which is a collagen prepeptide hyaluronic acid, which is a very potent formula. You only need up to 3 drops. You put it in the palm of your hand with your serum or your oil. I like to blend this one with the serum. You can use that morning and evening. The second one is Brighten. So it has a very potent, stable, oil-soluble form of vitamin C paired with jojoba and sea buckthorn. I'm obsessed with this one. We're actually launching it in a larger size pretty soon. So that one you can use in the afternoon. I would say use that in the morning, blend with your hydrate and your serum. And then in the evening, we have another 10 ml bottle called Revitalize, which is our retinol alternative. So we've actually done a huge push to stay away from retinol because it's extremely toxic. And this ingredient that we found is our bioactive A complex, which is derived from green algae, and it's paired with astaxanthin and jojoba. And it really helps with resurfacing and refining your skin and helping your pore size, clarifying your skin. So that one you would use in the evening. And I would say anybody who's looking for that extra oomph in their skincare routine to add this in there.
Okay, very good. So we're talking with Rachel Pachivas of Anne Marie Skincare. We're going to talk more about this fascinating stuff in just a second. We'll be back with more from the Health Awakening. Stay with us. And welcome back to the Health Awakening. Before the break, we were talking with our guest, Rachel Pachivas of Anne Marie Skincare, about toxins in the healthcare or in the skincare. Even though it was expensive stuff, it still may not be great. And you mentioned, Rachel, one of those things was retinol. Now we know of parabens and phthalates and things like that are bad in things like, sunscreen and things of this nature. But retinol, that may be new to some folks. What's so bad about retinol? And then maybe we can ask about some other things too we need to watch out for.
Sure. Yeah. I went down this journey when I was pregnant, trying to develop a product, Revitalize, that we eventually used bioactive A complex from algae. And retinol was one ingredient that would not pass made safe standards. And I started digging in why. And it causes hormone disruption, endocrine disruption, fertility issues. It wreaks havoc on your skin, for one, and then a plethora of other health issues and diseases. So we definitely, that is the biggest no-no. We steer clear of it. We advise people to steer clear of it. It's not one that I would ever say to put in your skincare regimen, even if you use it once a month. Just don't use it.
So if somebody has a cream with retinol palmitate in it or something like that, put it back on the shelf. Is that what we're saying?
Get rid of it, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, that's great. I bet a lot of people didn't know that. So what are some other things that, our group here is they're pretty up on things, so you can get down to the nitty-gritty with them. What are some other things that we should turn the product around and read before we purchase it? And obviously we want to do Anne-Marie skincare first, because we know that's clean, but looking in our own closets, in our own medicine chest, what should we be looking for?
Yeah, I think if somebody is a health-minded person and they're already using clean products, to go a step further and take a look at those ingredients on the back, like look to see if your glycerin's organic. That's a really important one because they can be contaminated. Another one would be look for fragrance. You often find this in so many products. I don't know why we're still seeing it, but get rid of products with fragrance because there can be hundreds and thousands of compounds in there that can cause issues, that can have phthalates and other hormone disruptors in there. Anything with paraben, I don't know if you would see it, but you might still see it. You might still see a lot of greenwashing at health stores right now. So you might see like made with soothing chamomile, but then you look at the majority of the ingredients and it's not chamomile. It's not the first, second, fifth, 10th, or 20th. It might be the last one on there. So keeping that in mind as you're putting something on your skin that has all these other ingredients that might not be so soothing. Other things to avoid, dimethicone. This one's, we're seeing it in different clean products. I'll go to clean sites online and there's products on there with dimethicone, and this is petroleum. So you shouldn't be using it.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. So now there's some good products out there we know, but that's great that we're learning about some of these things. But so in the future, like for example, like things for, a body wash in the shower, things like that. Is Anne-Marie Skincare heading towards some of those things in the future?
Yeah, so we have a body wash. We have a rosemary peppermint body wash, and it contains a coconut-derived surfactant, so it doesn't have any harsh ingredients there. You're not going to see like some really thick bubbles and suds because of that reason, but it's an incredible product. It's great. Yeah.
And now you mentioned sunscreen. Before, when the cameras were off, I asked you if you guys had any sunscreen per se, and you said you did have one product that it's so popular it's going to be back in September. Tell us about that one.
Yes, it keeps selling out, but it is our Sun Love. It's an SPF. It has zinc as the main blocker, and then it has a bunch of different butters and oils in there. It's a great product. It's an everyday sunscreen, so it goes on pretty sheer. It's kind of perfect. You can wear it throughout the day. It doesn't have to be summertime. You can wear it in the fall or winter whenever you're using anything. And if you are using sunscreens and you haven't looked into ingredients, this is definitely one to keep top of mind because there are a lot of toxic ingredients in common everyday sunscreens. Oxybenzone is a big one that we try to talk about a lot that is destroying the ocean. And we're seeing biologists and marine biologists talking about what it's doing to the mammals and the fish and how it's changing their sex organs and how it's causing infertility. It's ruining the ocean and the Great Barrier Reef. There's a lot of things happening, and it's the sunscreen going into the water. So I think sunscreen is a big one that I'm really passionate about. And if you're looking for one, we have one. Hopefully it's in stock, but yeah.
And that's an amazing thing. How many people use sunscreen, especially this time of year, all the time, and they're just slathering it on or spraying it on, not thinking of what's going in their skin. And as we mentioned, I mean, I've always known that to be true, and maybe you can lend to this as well, is that, anything you put on your skin gets a free ride into your blood system. There's no filters. It just goes right in.
Yeah, I mean, we see patches, we see nicotine patches. That's the whole purpose of them. It's of course not in that concentration, but we're putting things on us and it's going in us. That's like why you have to be so conscious when you're pregnant. I mean, there's certain times of our lives where we have to be very mindful of what we're putting in, but it's like, why not be mindful all the time? Because these things that we're putting on us are going into our system.
Right, and if they can be endocrine disruptors or disruptors for women, guys take notice. It can affect you too, and guys can be the issue if a couple can't get pregnant as well.
Increasing sperm count. There's a lot of things that we're seeing with a lot of these ingredients with men as well.
Wow, amazing. Okay, well, we're going to come back and wrap this up with Rachel Pachivas of Anne Marie Skincare, and we'll be back with more from The Health Awakening. Stay with us. Hey, thank you for watching The Health Awakening. Today we've been talking with Rachel Pachivas of Anne Marie Skincare. And these people are really invested in what they do. Where does Anne Marie come from? Well, that's Anne Marie Gianni, who I met 15 years ago. What are they doing now, by the way?
Yeah, so we were just chatting about this, and I mentioned Anne Marie. She kind of, she stepped out a little bit, and she's really passionate about herbs, and she's passionate about getting her hands dirty and growing the herbs. And so one thing that her and Kevin have wanted to do for a long time was grow herbs for a limited edition batch product, and that's what she's doing. So she's growing herbs from Moss Creek Farm, their farm on their property, and they gather these herbs and they put them into one product that we launch every year. And we make a very limited small batch, about 500 units, and that's it. And it's pretty sweet that they're seeing like the full rotation, like growing the herbs and putting them into the product.
And the other products you guys get, you go to the farms yourself. Tell us a little bit about that, where these things come from.
Yeah, so we source from all over. The main thing is having integrity. So we want to connect with the farmers. We connect with cooperatives. I personally went to a farm in France to visit a couple of places for essential oils. We kind of do things from all over just to connect with people and make sure that it's the purest and cleanest source and the most active.
Wow, amazing. So you guys are right into this. You make sure you check it out yourselves. So thank you for doing so. There's the information on the bottom of your screen where you can find out more about that skin quiz we talked about. And also, here's where you can get the products themselves. And Rachel Pachivas, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to talk more about this with you and get my wife up here so she can be more, versed in this stuff than I am. So thank you again for joining us. And thank you for joining us on The Health Awakening. Thank you for joining us today on The Health Awakening. You can catch the replay of this episode and see our complete show archive at healthawakening.tv. For more information about our guests today and all they have to offer, please visit their website on the bottom of your screen. And please remember, the information you saw today is intended for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice, nor do the views expressed reflect those of this broadcaster. Should you choose to implement this information, please do so only with the assistance of a licensed medical professional. Neither the presenter nor this broadcaster assume any responsibility for any adverse effects or consequences that may result.